Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Andrew Zale, the Chair for the Board of Dentistry. Welcome to the Board of Dentistry's hybrid meeting. This meeting is conducted virtually and in person, and this meeting is being recorded. I'll take board roll call after the video and information is provided on internet and phone access for this meeting. A short video will be shown to explain the procedures for this hybrid meeting. Mark, if you can play it.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras. Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Okay, moving forward, Dr. Lau and Ms. Yamada, can you please read the instructions to access this meeting?
Internet access. To view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You'll be asked to enter your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with any entry in the email format. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about the agenda item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking. Upon request, your Zoom video or similar on-camera option will be enabled to allow you to be visible to the board members and other meeting participants while presenting oral testimony. Please turn off your camera after you conclude your testimony. It is the individual testifier's responsibility to ensure that they have the video and internet capabilities to successfully stream or remotely testify. The board maintains authority to remove and block individuals who willfully disrupt or compromise the conduct of the meeting.
Phone access. If you cannot get internet access, you may get audio-only access by calling the phone number listed at the top of the agenda. Upon dialing the number, you will be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted to the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you're admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star and then 9 on your phone's keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star and then 9-6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you are finished speaking, please enter star and then 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. The information will be provided on the board's website. Instructions to attend State of Hawaii virtual board meetings may be found online as well.
Okay, thank you very much for reading the instructions. Moving to agenda item number 1, roll call, quorum, call to order, and public notice. At this time, I am going to be conducting roll call for board members in attendance. If each of you can indicate if you're alone or if someone else is present. Dr. Guevara,
Present and alone.
Dr. Hirano,
Present.
Dr. Lau,
Present.
Ms. Shimbabuku,
Present.
Ms. Timmerman,
Present and alone.
okay. Dr. Wu,
Present.
Ms. Yamada,
Present.
Dr. Yamamoto,
Present and alone.
okay. And I'm here in person. We do have Dr. Steve Pine, who's actually excused from this meeting. In addition to the board members in person, we have our executive officer, Sheena Choi, and Attorney General Andrew Kim, in addition to other staff that will be assisting in this meeting. At this time, I am going to be confirming that we do have quorum. There being quorum, I'm calling this meeting to order. Start time is 10:10 a.m. Before we start, I do want to remind new board members and existing board members that board members participating virtually, please remember to mute your microphones if you're not speaking. If you need to step away, please announce you're doing so, and please indicate when you do return. For the agenda, the agenda for this meeting was filed with the Office of Lieutenant Governor and posted on the state electronic calendar as required by HRS Section 92-7. Moving on to item number 2 on the agenda, Chair's announcement. For 2A, recognition of outgoing dentist member, Dr. Steph Fujimoto. On behalf of the board, we want to extend our appreciation to Dr. Steph Fujimoto for his dedicated service and contributions as a board member throughout these years. Staff's activity has been involvement regarding the licensing and also regarding heading the facility site visits, which was very valuable. We're truly grateful for his dedication and time to help protect the public health, safety, and welfare. So thank you, Dr. Fujimoto, on record. Going on to item 2B, C, and D. You want to welcome new Denahunji member, Ms. Marian Timmerman, RDH. Welcome new dentist member, Dr. Timmy Hirano, UDS, Kauai County. And welcome new dentist member, Dr. Christopher Wu, UDS. So I would like to welcome you to the board. Thank you. We do really want to thank you for, being able to serve on the board, and we look forward to working with you and your contributions. At this time, I'd like to just put aside a few minutes for Ms. Timmerman or any of the new doctors, if you'd like to share anything and a little bit about your background.
No pressure. And if you want to, just a few brief words. Yeah,
Okay, you want me to start?
sure.
Okay, well, I've been a practicing dentist in Hawaii for 41 years. I've been doing extensive continuing education for the last 26 years. I've been mentoring in Hawaii and Kansas City and Tokyo for the last 16 years. So that's where I come from.
Welcome, Dr. Dr. Hirano.
Kauai. I'm from Kauai. I've been practicing for 35 years. And that's about it.
Welcome.
And Marion, do you have any comments you'd like to make or share with us a little bit about yourself? And
Let's try again.
Okay, maybe not at this time.
okay, maybe at the next meeting, we can, have you share something about yourself.
Okay.
We'll move on then. Okay, but again, thank you for the new board members coming on board. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 3. Approval of open and executive session minutes of the May 12th, 2025 meeting. I do want to note that there is a correction to the agenda. On May 12th, 2025, there were no executive session conducted, so we are only going to be approving the open minutes. At this time, is there any public testimony on this agenda item?
Sure, there are no raised hands.
Seeing no public testimony, I'm moving on to any board comments at this time. Seeing no board comments, is there a motion to approve the open session minutes?
Jonathan Lau, make a motion to approve the open session minutes.
Second. Joy, second.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Say aye to approve. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion's carried. Next agenda item is 4, scope of practice. 4A, and this agenda item is inquiry from Leanne Higa regarding if a fully licensed dentist needs to be physically present during patient treatment if a licensed dental hygienist is supervising a student in the academic clinical setting. Now, Sheena, could you please read the email from Leanne Higa? And for clarification, Leanne Higa is a dental hygiene program coordinator for UH's Maui College.
Maui College Dental Hygiene. So Ms. Higa's email was as follows. In the academic clinical setting, does the dentist need to be physically present during patient treatment if a licensed dental hygienist is supervising the student? For the clinical setting, these would be at clinical sites distant from the UH Maui College Dental Hygiene Clinic and the Kahului campus. The ADA Code of Creditors approved the following major sites of education on Hawaii Island: Kealakehe, Kealakekua, and Waikoloa. These sites will be the clinical activity sites for the Hawaii Island students. Their curriculum includes radiography on student partners, followed by family and friends for the first semester, dental hygienist instructor, preclinical instruction on typodonts, followed by student partners in the first semester, dental hygienist instructor. From the second semester on, the students will be supervised by a dentist and instructed by a hygienist when seeing clinical patients.
Okay, no, thank you, Sheena. Mark, at this time, is Leanne Higa available for testimony?
Yes, I have promoted her to panelist. Leanne,
Hey, good morning. Thank you so much for allowing me to ask my question. Yeah, so in our dental hygiene educational setting, the students in the first semester are seeing clinical patients as student partners, and then in the following semesters, there will be a dentist present in the clinical setting during patient care, except for in some cases of open lab time, where there'll be a dental hygiene instructor, but no dentist physically present when they're doing dental hygiene care, but not allowing for anesthesia.
At this time,
Oh, sorry.
oh no, I'm sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And in research, I saw in HRS 447-3, section D, it does say that the dental hygienist may operate under general or direct supervision of any licensed dentist providing dental services in a public health setting And it does list that a dental hygienist employed in public health setting may perform dental education, dental screenings, fluoride applications. So just wondering about my question.
Okay, no, thank you, Leanne. At this time, are there any board member questions for Leanne?
Leanne, I have a question. So will the students be giving any block anesthesia during these sessions without any dentists present?
No, they will not be doing any block anesthesia without the dentist physically present there.
Good,
It will
and
be just the basic dental hygiene services such as cleaning and sealants and fluoride and oral health education.
And just to know that, that's a very good question, Dr. Lau. For HRS 447-3D, I just want to note that a licensed dental hygienist shall not perform any irreversible procedure or administration of intraoral block anesthesia under general supervision. Just for clarification on that, which you have brought up. Thank you.
And just to confirm, Leanne, no irreversible procedures would be performed in addition to no block anesthesia administered?
Correct. No irreversible dental procedures and no block or infiltration anesthesia will be performed without the direct supervision of a dentist.
Thank you. And then Dr. Su, if I could just clarify, so when Leanne was asking about the physical presence, just a reminder for the board and for our public attendees, the board's administrative rules do define supervision. So there's two levels, direct supervision and general supervision. So where Leanne is asking about physical presence, that would refer to direct supervision. All hygienists in Hawaii need to be under supervision of a Hawaii licensed dentist. And then there's specific provisions in our laws and rules when general supervision is allowed and when direct supervision is required.
No, thank you so much. Are there any other questions for Leanne at this time from the board?
I just have one more question, Leanne. So where you cited HRS 447-3D, there's the definition of public health settings. And so it's including but not limited to dental services in a legally incorporated eleemosynary dental dispensary or infirmary, private or public school, welfare center, community center, public housing, hospital, nursing home, adult daycare center, assisted living facility, mental institution, nonprofit health clinic or facility, or the state or any county. So just wanted to check that the clinical sites, would they fall under any one of those public health settings?
Yes, they would. They are the school would be under the school setting. And then the Hawaii Island clinics would be under the health clinics, I believe.
The nonprofit health clinic or facility.
I think so, because isn't Hawaii Island Oral Health Center?
I believe Hawaii Island Community Center is a FQHC, federally
It's
qualified.
FQHC, yes.
And that's where the clinical sites are?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank
The
you.
clinical sites are at a FQHC.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Any other follow-up questions with Leanne from the board? No, see no additional questions for Leanne. I'm going to open this up to public testimony. Is there any public testimony at this time? We don't hear.
There's no one wishing to provide oral testimony.
Okay, seeing no public testimony, we'll move on to board comments and discussion. Are there any board comments or discussion? Okay. See no board discussion or comments, we can close that section. And no vote is necessary for this. We are providing guidance. And in summary, based upon the email that Leanne actually submitted, our opinion at this time and guidance is that the dentist can provide general supervision of a dental student that's being supervised by a licensed dental hygienist at this time, under those specific locations and as described in that email. And Sheena or Eli, would you mind just following up with maybe some follow-up
Yeah, we'll
letter?
follow up in writing, replying to your emails to the board. And again, just for the public, this is guidance from the board for informational and explanatory purposes only. So in accordance with HAR 16-201-90, this interpretation is not to be considered binding on the board or the department in any way. It's just provided for guidance.
Okay, mahalo. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll move on to 4B. Inquiry from Dr. Steve Rohite, TDS, regarding the dual licensed dentist and liver prescribed. Sheena, would you mind reviewing or reading the email regarding this? And I believe the email has a little more information regarding inquiry regarding diagnosis.
Yes. So Dr. Wilhite's email reads as follows. Can a licensed dentist in the state of Hawaii order a sleep test? Here, and he attached an article that was included in the public and the board packets. Is the most current positional statement from the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine, AADSM. I've reached out to them and was told their position has not changed. This academy has been the primary authority on dental sleep practice in our country for the last 33 years. We are a nonprofit association with the primary goal of educating dentists in sleep medicine. I'm the only diplomat in the state from this association. This diplomat's distinctions require years of work to obtain. I've seen other dentists in our state approach the board concerning similar dental-related sleep topics, and they reference themselves as a diplomat of a similar sounding association. However, they are not a diplomat of our academy, but instead a for-profit one-day course that issues these labels. The issue I'm having with a few dentists in town are that they are making medical diagnoses from the HSAT they prescribe. I feel this is outside their scope of dental practice. I would be happy to help the dental board with any other questions about dental sleep medicine. And he included several attachments. So the first one that was referred to in that email was from the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine. And he later also provided 3 additional attachments that were again included in the board and public packets. So the first was the ADA, the American Dental Association policy statement on the role of dentistry in the treatment of sleep-related breathing disorders. The second was the Georgia Dental Board's 2023 policy regarding sleep apnea testing. It's on page 11 of that attachment. And the final additional material was the Ohio Dental Board's 2025 position statement on the role of dentists in the treatment of sleep disordered breathing. So that was provided. And for the board's discussion, this would be on whether ordering or prescribing a sleep test would fall under the practice of dentistry. And as a reminder to the board, dentistry is defined in your statute, HRS 448-1. And that is all the materials provided by Dr. Wilhite, who unfortunately is not able to join for question and answer. So it's just based on his emails and the materials that were provided.
Okay, no, thank you, Sheena. At this time, is there any public testimony on this agenda item?
Here, there's no one who just provides testimony.
Okay, seeing there's no testimony, I'm gonna move on to the board comment and discussion regarding this inquiry from Dr. Wilhite.
So he's saying that some dentists are diagnosing sleep apnea without any MD input, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's the gist of it. So we have to figure out. Is
So I
that
think it's two parts. So his first initial question is prescribing and ordering a sleep test within the scope, is that allowable? So that's the first part. And then, yes, he does address at the end of the email his concerns that dentists are also making diagnoses. So that would be the second part. So maybe one part at a time.
So why don't we deal with the first part? If under the scope of practice for dentistry, a dentist can actually order, prescribe HSAT, so.
Associated structures, or having associated structures.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So just kind of in review, in HRS 448-1, they do have a section regarding defined practice. Quote, dentistry includes a part of the health concerned with the diagnosis, prevention, and treatment of diseases of teeth, oral cavity, and associated structures, including the restoration of defective or missing teeth. So my understanding, Dr. Lally, is you're saying that if a HSAT or sleep disorder test is prescribed, as long as it's associated with any associated structures, that the dentist will be responsible for in practicing, that in that specific cases that would be allowable.
Yeah, so there are lots of breathing sinus, high palate, shrinks the sinus, no more air, the epiglottis goes down, you know, that's kind of to me in the associated structures of the mouth area. That's just my opinion.
If I could highlight just some summaries from those 4 attachments that I thought might be relatable to help guide it forward. So in the first attachment that was provided by the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine, kind of a summary of the position that was represented. And I'll just quote from that article. It's that AADSM considers it within the scope of practice for a qualified dentist defined by the American Dental Association as a dentist treating sleep-related breathing disorders who continually updates his or her knowledge and training in dental sleep medicine with related continuing education to order or administer home sleep apnea tests or HSATs. Data from the HSAT should be interpreted by a licensed medical provider for initial diagnosis and verification of treatment efficacy. And then the additional 3 also kind of built off of that position. So the ADA policy statement on the role of dentistry in the treatment of sleep-related breathing disorders, they echoed that previous position by saying that they believe that dentists are qualified dentists can recognize the symptoms and the risks, but that it should be referred to a physician in terms of diagnoses. And then the dentist can continue to work with the licensed dentist if an oral application treatment is recommended. But again, that they should always be working in conjunction with a licensed medical profession. And so the Georgia and the Ohio boards, the dental boards positions echo that as well. They kind of use the exact language from the ADA position and from that American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine, where dentists are not prohibited in those states from ordering sleep apnea tests. But again, the diagnosis should be diagnosis of sleep apnea or any other related conditions should be under the purview of a licensed physician.
No, thank you for that nice review. At this time, anybody participating virtually, do you have any comment that you'd like to put regarding the first issue regarding scribing or ordering?
This is Dr. Guevara. Are you maybe you want to come up with a position statement from our board if this is something that you may perceive as an issue further down the road? Just to have a position statement like I guess Ohio and Georgia were the 2 that I think that you mentioned. That's something that we could consider.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, Dr. Guevara. So, the board could preliminarily discuss, and then the EO could draft a formal position and put it before the board for approval at the next board meeting.
This is Dr. Guevara again too. Since Dr. Wilhite's not here to help explain, to help push his position or tell us what else is going on, I know there's a lot of people doing a lot of, dental appliances for sleep apnea, things like that. And, that might be something that we should just have like the other states, just a position statement. And then, we'll leave it up to the providers of what they're going to do. And if they seek help from medical professionals, or the medical board, I guess.
No, thank you, Dr. Guevara. Any other comments from anybody from the board? Okay, see none, we'll go to issue number 2 regarding the diagnosis based upon the actual findings or tests of HSAT. We can move on to that. Any comments?
Make it clear that the medical doctors have to do that part. Yeah.
I think based upon the reference's interpretation that,
Yeah.
it is consistent that doing a medical diagnosis or diagnosis of this sleep order disorder would be considered medical at this time. Also want to mention that if Dr. Wilhite, they can also consult with the medical board to confirm or get further clarification. But per the statute of what is defined for dentistry, it's my opinion that it's not allowed under dentistry. Any further comments or any comments from anybody virtually?
This is Dr. Guevara again. I think what I'm gonna mention too, the two questions that we're addressing here can be addressed in the position statement from the board, all in one. And same thing again, I recommend that if there's any questions from Dr. Wilhite, that he seek counsel from the medical board to.
I agree. No, thank you, Dr. Guevara. So I would recommend that at this time, Eli, who's going to be the new executive officer taking over the board, draft a positional statement for the next meeting, put it on the agenda. And then we have to vote on that position statement,
Yes.
correct?
If it's a position statement, we'll present it for the board's review.
Okay.
But it would again be for informational and explanatory purposes. But just to make sure, I guess just the general temperature of the board for when Eli does draft the position statement, is your position likely to mirror what was presented by ADA and then the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine, something along those lines, and then incorporating our reference to HRS 448-1 with associated structures in terms of prescribing and ordering, but not diagnosis. Is that kind of the position? Okay.
Yes, I agree.
And thank you, Dr. Guevara, regarding your
Yes.
recommendation. Thank you. Going on to the next agenda item, 5 applications. I'm going to be going through 5A through 6, the ratification list. So at this time, I'm going to present a vote for all ratification list categories at once. And I'll be reading the different ratification lists identified in the agenda. So looking at this, approved dentist, ET 3219 to ET 3234. Approved dental hygienist, DH 2518 to DH 25121. Approved temporary dentist, DTT 388 to DTT 400. Approved community service dentist, CSDT 115. Approved dental hygienist certification and administration of the intra-oral block anesthesia, DH 2512, DH 2515, and DH 2520. And lastly, approve additional dentist permit to administer deep sedation / general anesthesia and moderate sedation, DT 1813 and DT 2889. At this time, is there any public testimony on this ratification list?
There are no raised hands.
Okay. See no comments from the public. Any board comments at this time? Okay, see no board comments. Can I get a motion to approve this ratification list as read or described earlier?
I so approve. That we approve the ratification list.
Any second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wu. At this time, does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Seeing none, if you can say aye to approve.
Aye.
Anyone pose? Okay, this motion is carried. Moving on to agenda item 5B, specifically 5B1 regarding Dr. Jessica Lee. At this time, is Dr. Lee present at this time?
She is, Dr. Lee, for your application, the board will likely be moving into executive session. So unless you would like to provide testimony in open session. The board would move probably into executive session, and we would invite you in at that time to testify and answer any questions on your application. But could you just indicate that you're present with a raised hand? Okay, I do believe that she's on as Jay Lee. I don't know, did the board want to move into executive session?
Before we move into executive session and recommendation, is there any public testimony at this time?
There are no raised hands.
See none. So in this case, because we're reviewing confidential and personal information regarding this application regarding Dr. Lee, I recommend that we do move into executive session. If I can get a motion to enter into executive session.
Jonathan, I make a motion to move it to executive session.
Dr. Hughes,
I second.
okay.
Joyce.
Okay.
I don't vote.
Went to vote. Okay, at this time, does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? No? Say aye to approve.
I.
Okay, good. Anyone oppose? Okay, motion carried.
Okay, so we'll move into executive session at 10:38, and if I can have our attendees please move into the hallway. Reed, you can stay in as. And Jessica, I do see that you're on the call with the raised hand, so thank you for indicating that you're present. We're going to be moving into executive session, so we'll invite you in at that time. Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Guevara. This is Mark. You should have received an invitation to enter executive session.
Yeah, I think I accidentally closed it. Did you send me another one? I was trying to text someone.
Hi, Dr. Lee. This is Mark, Secretary for the board. I sent you an invite to a breakout room under your name. Can you please accept that invitation? Yeah, the board would like to speak with you.
Okay, we are returning from executive session back into the open session. Time is 11:03 a.m. At this time, I do want to do a summary of the executive session. So in the executive session, the board discussed and consulted with its attorney regarding confidential matters regarding the application of Dr. Lee. At this time, are there any board comments or discussion on this matter? Seeing none, if we can have a motion to approve.
Jonathan Lau, I make a motion to approve Dr. Lee's application.
Okay, we have a second. Anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Seeing none, say aye to approve.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose? Okay, the motion's carried, and Sheena, if you could just do a follow-up letter with Dr. Lee regarding decision. Okay, perfect, thank you. Going on to the next agenda item, number 6A, Employee Administrative Rules, Chapter 16-79, Board vote on revised draft of proposed new rule. The board voted at its January 13, 2025 meeting to accept the proposed HAR rule revisions presented by the Rules Permitted Interaction Group and revised in the board discussion. This final draft of the proposed revision requires final board approval before it can advance to the next stage of the rules revision process. At this time, if we can have Sheena, if you can just generally review the HR process regarding the rule revisions. And I also a high-level review of the recommended amended revisions.
Sure. So as Dr. Su just stated, the board has been in the administrative rules revision process for quite some time now. And at the board's January 13th meeting this year, the board did vote to accept the proposed HAR revisions as presented by the Rules Permitted Interaction Group and with some additional revisions that were suggested at that January 13th meeting by the board. So since then, that draft has been under review by myself and the Deputy Attorney General, Andrew Kim. And so what's before you now at this meeting is a final draft of the proposed rule. And since there were some substantive changes, this final draft requires another board approval before it can advance into the next rules revision stage. And so just as a review, an overview of the amendments in this draft. So I'll read the section and the section title. So in 16-7-3.1B, restoration of forfeited license, subsection B was added back in. It was originally removed. Section 16-79-14.5, grounds for refusal to renew, reinstate, or restore, and for revocation, suspension, denial, limited, or condition of license. There was a proposed new section, but that was deleted. 16-79-76B2A, administration of local anesthesia. Language there was just clarified based on the proposed provisions. 16-79-78C, administration of general anesthesia and sedation. A legal citation was added to that section. 16-79-141A to C, continuing education category. So A2C, A2D, and A2E, all under the continuing education categories in section. The language was just clarified to make the board's proposed amendment more clear. And then the last revision was 16-79-144, 1A to C, biennial renewal. Again, the language was clarified to make things more clear. So that's the list, and I do believe that we also have some testimony that was submitted today by HDA. So I don't know, did you want to? And I know you provided a hard copy, so I will email that to the board members pending virtually. But we do have a representative from HDA who will provide oral testimony. You can state your name and then 5 minutes after.
Richmond Lazar, testifying on behalf of the association. It's good to see all of you guys. It's been a couple months. Hopefully your summer is going well. So I just want to say thank you guys for working really hard on drafting this rules. I know it's been a long process, and especially as a volunteer board, we really appreciate it. You know, apologies for this being so late in the process. I mean, it's been a months-long process, but this is just something we noticed, so we really wanted to just get on the record testifying with a friendly amendment. So I believe you guys have it in front of you, but our draft amendment is to amend 16-79-141D and D1 specifically. There is the amendments that was added was I don't believe this was in the current round of amendments, but it was in an iteration that was earlier this year or late last year. But it would provide that there would be 8 hours at a minimum of either virtual real time or in-person continuing education. So our amendment to that is just to add, in addition to that 8-hour requirement, that 4 of those hours in-person hours. I think, you know, obviously with COVID, there's a huge shift towards more virtual everything. As we've gotten out of it, it's started to shift back towards a little bit of a middle ground, but this amendment we can see as in that sort of middle ground. So as I said, just wanted to get on the record testifying for that. Let me know if you have any questions.
No, thank you. Any?
Can I read that just for our board members who are attending virtually? So what Richmond just stated, the amendment submitted by HDA was for 16-79-141D. This is the continuing education section. So currently the draft reads of the CE requirements for dentists at a minimum 8 CE hours shall be completed live in person or completed virtually in real time. HDA is proposing adding right after that, provided that a minimum of 4 hours be completed live in person. And Richmond, correct me if I'm wrong. So HDA's recommendation is just that the board require that 4 of those hours be live and in person. Okay.
At this time, does any board member have any questions for Richmond regarding this testimony?
So live in person and all the other credits can be virtual in real time. So they're lowering the requirements for.
No, making it higher.
For in
So
person.
4 must be in person only.
For
not
4 of the
online.
8.
Yeah, so you guys are making, as I understand it, you guys are making 8 of the hours of all of the continuing education's requirements basically be real time, right? Could be virtual, could be in person. We're saying as part of that smaller section, we can say an even smaller section is at least a minimum of in person.
So what's your basis on doing that this
think-
late in the game?
It was just something that came to our attention a little bit late, and we just wanted to get on the record saying.
Thank you. I do have a comment, for the Rules Pig, we did have in-depth discussion with the Hawaii Dental Association regarding this. And some of their recommendation that was similar to this, not exactly like this, has been reviewed. And we've also had discussions regarding the auditing process of the DCCA regarding the CEs. And one of the challenges many times is, although many of the CE certificates identify the manner in which the CEs were completed, many of them were not specific regarding live in person, and other things like that. To best look at changes of the revision and also in relationship to the auditing process, we did decide to leave the rules as written at this time.
And then yes to everything that Dr. Su just stated. And then I believe in one of my reports to the board or to the permitted interaction group on the matter of live versus virtual, across the other PVL Professional and Vocational Licensing Division boards and programs. No other boards and programs in Hawaii require live CEs. So I just noted that for your consideration that it would be a departure from somewhat of the norm across the other licensure boards, but that was just for the board's consideration.
And I do want to thank the Hawaii Dental Association of Richmond being very transparent, open about discussions regarding the revisions through the process. Thank you. But at this time, are there any comments for HDA at this time for Richmond? Okay, seeing none, well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, is there any other public testimony?
Thank you, Chair. There are no raised hands.
At this time, we'll go to board comments and discussion. Again, if there's any board questions or clarifications regarding the specific details of the recommendations from the EO or the Attorney General regarding comments or why they made the recommendations, we do have to go into executive session. At this time, I don't have any specific questions regarding that. Does anybody else on the board?
This is Dr. Guevara. I think our pig did a good job, and I think we just need to continue on with the process. That's just my comment.
Thank
Okay,
you. Thank you.
no, thank you, Dr. Guevara. So at this time, is there a motion to approve the recommended revised revision to the HAR as described in the agenda?
Jonathan, I make a motion to approve our
His
current rules revisions as we have discussed previously.
Okay, thank you. Any second?
A second.
Okay,
Pointing fingers.
okay. Going to voting, does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Seeing none, if you can say aye to approve. Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Next, we're gonna move on to the next agenda item. 7, Executive Officers Report. Sheena, if you can review the Executive Officer Report, 7A, B, and C.
Thank you, Dr. Sue. So 7A, announcement from the American Board of Dental Examiners, or ADEX, and CDCA, WREB-CETA or CWC regarding merge into a single organization under the name American Board of Dental Examiners. So the board did receive an update from these two organizations regarding their intent to merge. I just wanted to report that to the board since those are some of the acceptable clinical examinations for our licensure populations. But just to let you know, this doesn't affect the licensure process or the requirements in any way. That's more administrative on those two organizations' side. But just for your information, that handout and the announcement was provided to you. Are there any questions on that one? Okay, great. And then next, 7B. Update from the American Association of Dental Boards, or AADB, that the Louisiana Dental Board has become the first state to join AADB's Interstate Dental and Dental Hygiene Licensure, or IDDHL Compact as of June 25th, 2025. So we did receive an update from AADB, a reminder to the board that ongoing discussion for the board has been the issue of interstate dental compacts. You've been researching this and we've been discussing for the past about year now. And so I wanted to provide this update to let you know that the AADB compact, it does need a minimum of, I believe, 5 states to enact legislation in order for their version of their compact to be formally enacted. So currently, they just have one, so it's still pending. The other dental and dental hygiene compact that's being proposed nationally is the one by the Council of State Governments. So that one has been gaining a bit more traction. It is, as I reported previously, formally enacted because they had the minimum states that they needed to pass legislation. They had some additional states pass additional legislation to join the compact this past session. But they're still in their implementation phase. So they're still, as I reported previously, about a year to 2 years out from actually being able to issue compact privileges. But for your information, and as the board has requested, we did invite both AADB and CSG to provide presentations at your upcoming board meetings this year, so that you can get an update on where those compacts stand. I know that there's probably quite a bit of update given this past legislative session, and all of what's gone on. So again, a reminder, the board has not taken a formal position yet on either the general issue of compacts, or the two ones that are currently being proposed. As we've mentioned, compacts have been considered at the legislature for other state licensure boards, including the medical board, which recently passed a specific compact about 2 years ago. So we do think that it is likely to come up very soon, and encourage everyone to keep researching, keeping up to date on that issue, because the board will probably need to opine at some point. But that's my report on that one. Are there any questions? Okay, there's no questions. Moving on to 7C, reminder renewal year for dental licenses. So this has been a standing agenda item, reminding all licensees that this is a renewal year. So by December 31st, all dentists and dental hygienists, with the exception of the community service dental hygiene license, must be renewed with completion of the CE requirements. So as we've been saying at all the board meetings, we will send out a courtesy renewal reminder postcard as the renewal deadline approaches to the most recent mailing address we have on file. However, that is a courtesy only, and all licensees are reminded that it is the sole responsibility of each licensee to timely renew their license and comply with the requirements at the time of renewal. For this meeting, I did just want to emphasize that a renewal facility inspection is statutorily required for all dentists who hold the additional permit to administer deep sedation or general anesthesia or moderate sedation. As you know, that is a separate permit that dentist applicants can apply and be approved for, and a facility inspection is required in order to renew that permit. And so licensees should email the board to schedule that renewal facility inspection. The board opens a window to accept the inspections request from July 1st, so at the top of this month, all the way until December 31st, 2025. But we do suggest that all permit holders submit that request as soon as possible, because the inspections are performed by our volunteer inspection team led by Dr. Yamamoto. It takes a considerable effort for them to fly to all the different islands and inspect. So we encourage that to be requested as soon as possible. And I recently posted on the board's behalf a renewal FAQ specifically for those permit holders on requesting the renewal inspection. And I included that in your package just so you can be aware of what's posted on the board's website. And a general renewal FAQ for all licensees has been on the board's website since the beginning of this year. And so that is all I have for that. And Dr. Yamamoto, did you want to add anything else about the renewal inspections?
No, in case somebody on the board gets asked, regardless of when you were first approved, so you could be first approved literally this month or November, you still need an inspection to meet the 2-year cycle. So that does add a bit of work. So in other words, if we have a new applicant, I will inspect the office, but yet they still need to have another inspection for the renewal by December 31st. I mean, it could be, a month later, right? Or it could be, 2 months later, but before the end of the year.
Yes. Thank you for
2 inspections, yeah.
that. Yeah, and that is in statute. So if the board would ever want to revisit that, that would need to be done in statute. Yeah, but thank you again, Dr. Yamamoto. It's considerable effort to coordinate, and to the volunteer inspection team. We very much appreciate their efforts.
Okay, no, thank you, Sheena. Thank you, Dr. Yamamoto, regarding that. And again, we want to show appreciation to the facility inspection team and Dr. Yamamoto. Thank you. At this time, are there any public comment regarding the agenda item 7A, B, or C?
There are no raised hands.
Okay, any board comments at this time? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to agenda item number 8. The election of officers in accordance with HRS section 436B-6A. The board will vote to elect a chair and vice chair pursuant to HRS section 436B-6A immediately upon the qualification appointment of the original members and annually thereof. The board shall elect one member as a chair and one member as vice chair. Do you have anything to say, Sheena?
So I'd like to thank Dr. Su and Dr. Lau for serving as our chair and vice chair for the past year. I think they've done an excellent job. So as Dr. Su cited in 436B-6A, it is a requirement for all of the licensure boards after June 30th of every year. You do have to hold an election. The board can choose to maintain the current chair and vice chair or to change. It's totally up to you. And then we will just have to take a vote. So we'll take nominations for the chair and vice chair position, and then the board will formally vote.
And we can vote at the same time? or we
Yes, you
have-
can vote
okay.
at the same time. So we should just take nominations first, and then we can vote jointly.
Okay. Are there any nominations for the chair and vice chair at this time?
I nominate Andrew Sale and Jonathan Lau. Vice Chair.
I second the nomination.
Okay. At this time, are there any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, do I need to open this up to public comment, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well, technically it's agenda item, so yes, the public can comment, but
Okay. At this time, is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, perfect. Seeing none, if we can get a motion to elect the nominated chair and vice chair for approval.
I so move to approve the nomination of chair for Andrew and vice chair for Dr. Lau.
Second the
Motion.
Second.
Does anybody recuse or abstain from voting? Seeing none, if we can just say aye to approve.
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carried and congratulations. So next agenda item is 9, the next meeting. So next meeting is scheduled for Monday, September 15th, 2020.
later.
Later.
September 15th.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, September 15th, 2025 and 10 a.m. At this time, we are going to adjourn this meeting. But if the board members wouldn't mind just staying on for another minute, we'll
So meetings adjourn at 11:25.